Among the many interesting aspects of Martin Scorsese's PBS documentary, Bob Dylan, No Direction Home, are the interviews with the folkies who knew Dylan when he first showed up on the Greenwich Village scene in 1961. Liam Clancy of the Clancy Brothers refers to Dylan as a shapeshifter. This description really struck me because the Dylan who showed up in the village was channeling Woody Guthrie and claiming a life on the road straight out of Jack Kerouac. Despite all the great material in the film, including a number of contemporary interviews with the 60-ish Dylan, we still don't know who he is or what he's thinking after 225 minutes of watching and listening. As David Yaffe of Slate has noted, No Direction Home is framed by footage from a 1966 European tour in which Dylan was hounded by the folky Furies for plugging in with the Hawks, who later became the band. As the documentary opens, we see Dylan and the Hawks ripping into Like a Rolling Stone. The record has already been a number 2 single, but it was still a rock and roll rite of spring, too raw for the purists in 1966. Then suddenly Scorsese cuts to a frigid, silent Minnesota wilderness. The scene conveys a visceral feeling of Dylan defiantly inventing himself, not out of Abe and Betty Zimmerman's middle-class Jewish home, but out of bleak nothingness. Dylan recalls that the winters were rightly cold, and that he didn't have the clothes you have now. It was so cold, you couldn't be bad. Tim O'Farrell of Senses of Cinema notes that No Direction Home is divided into 2 parts, with the first part encompassing a familiar story arc, Dylan's trajectory towards stardom. The second part is focused on the oppressive aspects of celebrity, confrontational encounters with the media, and fans who want him only to write protest songs, overlooking the fact that legions of fans still followed him when he went all rock star. Certainly he craved the very celebrity that nearly devoured him. The 1966 Dylan is also clearly on speed, which contributes to his paranoia and wasted appearance. Additionally, it would have been interesting to learn more about the influences on Dylan. We know that he borrowed, even stole frequently from other artists in his early years, but we don't have any insight into his move into electric music other than his determination not to be pegged as a topical folk singer. The archival material in the film is fabulous, particularly from the famous concerts at Newport and Glasgow, where he was booed for playing rock songs, which are now considered classics. The interview with Joan Baez is wonderful, and the 5.1 audio on the DVD is sublime. Dylan says, as an artist, you have to stay in a state of discovery. Though the documentary only focuses on Dylan's career until 1966, just before his infamous motorcycle crash, it communicates that here is an artist who absolutely refuses to be pinned down, a master poet and a songwriter who has sabotaged everyone's expectations of him since he left Hibbing, Minnesota back in the day. I'm guessing that you will find Scorsese's film as intriguing as I did.